There's a mic. Yeah, here.
For those hopping on, we're going to give everyone a minute or two. Pull up the meeting and for us to get our bearings here. So we'll start here in just a second. Okay, I have 7 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get things started. So welcome everybody to the June 14, 2021 regular board meeting. Pleased to be back in the Board of Education for the first time, I think, in 15 months, and still live streaming on Zoom for those who are participating remotely. So glad to have you on board. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. So, Mr. Shaw.
Ms. Quigley.
Here.
Ms. Starr.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Duvall.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I please have a motion to adopt this evening's agenda?
Second.
Yeah. Ms. Starr.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duvall.
Aye. A motion please to approve the minutes from the May 10th, 2021 regular meeting.
Miller.
Second.
Dan?
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Ms. Starr.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duvall.
Aye. Accommodations for public comments, Dr. Ray.
Thank you. Congratulations to the class of 2021. It was a great commencement ceremony. It went off really well, and lots of kudos go to the high school team, the counselors, Dr. Waller. Make that a pretty special occasion for our students and our parents. Great event. Congratulations to Scott Forney, Susan Kuntz, and the 6th graders at Harmon for their incredible production of Where the Wild Things Are. That was a great production of 6th grade musical, which they had to do redesign and redo differently this year. It was a great event. And congratulations to the trophy. Goes right in front of you. Perfect. There you go. State girls championship for the entire team, and we had several individuals who did great. We had actually Grace Hartman had 3 first place finishes. She was part of the 3,200 meter relay, and then also she won the 1,600 meter run and the 3,200 run. Curiously enough, second place in the mile run, or the 1,600 meter, was Bella Butler, and they were right on each other, and what a great championship. So first place for the 3,200 meter relay, third place for the 1,600 meter relay, first place for the 1,600 and the 3,200 was Grace, and then Bella Butler was second in the 1,600, and then third place in the 800, and then Anna Moulton was 6th place in the 3,200. So good for them, and the coaching staff, Coach Stivers, Coach Burhard, and Coach Green, and Millard, and Stanford, and Snyder all did great work. And just a tremendous season for the girls. Very, very proud of them. And that's it.
I've never had one of these, so
Yeah.
I break it though. Too close to me.
Wow.
Dr. Lang, curriculum showcase, please.
Yes, I'm going to stick with our presentations about connecting this year. That's been our theme. Have some Hillary Law, just like that, some information about students on TI.
I'm Hillary Wall, and I'm the junior high counselor and also a member of the RTI team. And RTI is response to intervention, and it's a team of myself, Joan Blind, Bridget Fiore, and Matt Salyers. We meet every day. And then the high school counselors, they join every once in a while, and then the junior high and high school principal, they'll join us as well. But on those daily meetings, we get together and look at ways we can kind of help identify students who need some sort of intervention, either academically, with their social emotional well-being, or attendance. And then based on those results, we look at interventions that we can kind of implement. We have some whole school ones, we have some tier 2 interventions, and then we have tier 3 for maybe our students who are struggling the most. I think probably one of the biggest things we've done, and this is actually year 2 of it, are stop days, which stands for Students and Teachers Observing Progress. And basically about once a month, students will reflect on their grades, their attendance, and their social emotional well-being. They can request to talk to a counselor, they can request to talk to a teacher, and sometimes they can like refer a friend if they're worried about them. And we go through and same thing, try and find those results and figure out what we can do to help. They're really nice because the students take those in a classroom where they know the teacher, so they are kind of that first line of defense. Conference with the students right then, and then again, as it kind of moves up those tiers, we're there to help and then provide different interventions that way. Some of the interventions we have would be directed study hall, which is meant to help a lot with the academics, which are kind of a small group of study hall students and a teacher. We have the wellness center, which is new this year. We have some students that are scheduled in here all the time, and then we have some students that can drop in if they're having like a hard day. We've also offered peer tutoring. And then this year, especially with COVID, we offered some attendance interventions of trying to get a little bit of creative when we had like the half days to get students in here more or less. Fourth quarter, we ended up kind of creating this thing called Act Time and Office Hours, which was every day. I think we're looking at trying to kind of continue with that system with some tweaks into next year, but we want to use that time definitely for that social emotional well-being and connections, but we also want to try and implement some academic interventions during that time. We have 2 new positions for the district, our social emotional learning facilitator, Amy Samosky, and then Bridget Fiore is helping out with that as well. They will bring some ideas to the RTI team of some different stuff that we can do moving forward. It's exciting to see it.
That's great. Dr. Lang. Moving on to board reports. Let's start with Meredith, just on the
Your hunch is accurate. I do have a report from Amanda Venable, the new, still fairly new Alumni Association Director. She sent in a report. They had their second meeting with the student Alumni Association ambassadors before school ended. They had a pizza lunch with 15 students. So there were 8 returning members and 7 new applicants, and they're planning a recruitment event for the fall. And then Amanda's continuing to work with the class reps about reunion coming up in the fall. So the classes of 2001 and 2011 are working on details for homecoming and Thanksgiving reunion. And then 4 classes are planning class gifts. So those are still in the early stages. More information to come on those. For Distinguished Alumni Award, 9 nominations so far, 3 are returning. And so there are 7 members on the selection committee, and they're planning to meet by the end of the month to vote on those, and then there'll be an event, to recognize the road. And then the other piece that Amanda's working on, she's working with Tracy Hale, of course, on some social media training to kind of have more robust presence and run the Alumni Association online, and working with Social School for EDU to help with social media management, training, resources, one-on-one meetings, kind of get that to the next level. And then, so important dates, end of June, the Distinguished Alumni Awards selections will be made, early July. Those results will be shared with nominations and nominators. August 26th, Oakwood Athletics Hall of Fame. And then August 27th, Howard Sales Memorial Dedication. September 30th, Distinguished Alumni Awards Night, and then October 1st and 2nd will be homecoming. In reunion night. So Amanda has quite a lot going on. so new and jumping into the role in unusual circumstances. And just as an anecdote, she told me really how helpful Amy Martin has been, Amy Martin, the previous alumni association director, and is now a board member on the foundation. So, as Amy kind of said, we got to roll with it. So very much a resource for us.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Take this chance to provide an update on behalf of the grading policy review core team. Our strategy remains on plan and on schedule. As advanced and communicated back on December 14th, 2020. Since May 10th, since the last update, the expert team has remained engaged in feedback, has diligently reviewed all that information, research and data compiled, and has developed a community survey designed to test potential solutions. Just a few days ago on June 11th, the Oakwood community, using the district's group email listserv that we regularly use to maintain. So the Oakwood community was emailed a link to the survey prepared by the expert team, and were invited to participate and offer comments. The link was also posted on our website. That survey will remain open through June 18th, after which the expert team will reconcile the feedback presented. Subsequently, the expert team will prepare and share with members of the Board of Education its report and preliminary recommendations that intend to align with the aggregate findings and best practice methodologies, research-based learning pedagogies. I wrote that, and it was a mouthful. Good Lord. That effort will close by July 8th, 2021 to allow the Board of Education time to consider the report and recommendations submitted. Then on July 12th, per schedule, and consistent with board policy, the board will announce those, if any, changes to the current grading system that are found to assure a clearer, more valid, or more reliable system of grading, and which align with the ongoing mission and vision of the city schools. That update has been updated to our district website or the Board of Education page, and will be the most recent link that those who are accustomed to looking for that will find from tonight. The next and final update the board provided on July 12th. Moving to budget and finance. Mr. Shaw.
Item 5A, recommendation to approve the attached 5-year forecast. This is forecast submitted due by the end of May.
It was a motion to approve the recommendation 5.
So moved.
One note on this before we approve, just that the state budget is still underway, and we expect that June or July, we may have to submit the forecast. Ms. Wilson? Aye. Ms. Quigley?
Aye.
Ms. Starr?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Blow?
Aye.
Recommendation on 5B and 5C together. These recommendations to approve the alignment contract with Montgomery County SC and the service agreement as well.
Motion please to approve the recommendations at 5B and 5C.
Second.
Starr?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Quigley?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Blow?
Aye.
Item 5B, recommendation to approve the attached renewal for liability to property insurance.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 5D.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Quigley?
Aye.
Ms. Starr?
Aye.
Mr. Blow?
Aye.
Item 5F, recommendation to approve the list of transportation reimbursement requests for 2021.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 5F.
So moved.
Ms. Quigley?
Aye.
Ms. Starr?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Blow?
Aye.
Item 5G, recommendation to approve the attached fiscal year 22 initial appropriations.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 5G. So moved.
Second. Wilson? Aye. Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Quigley?
Aye.
Ms. Starr?
Aye.
Mr. Blow?
Aye.
Item 5H, recommendation to approve technology computer purchase, $198,624 from the single source provider.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 5H.
Second.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Burrow.
Aye.
Item 5I, recommendation to approve the attached final appropriations for fiscal year 21.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 5I.
So moved. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
And Mr. Burrow.
Aye.
Item 5J, approval for final certificate of estimate resources for fiscal year 21.
Motion to approve the recommendation at 5J.
Second. Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye.
And item 5K, recommendations made to approve the transfers as attached.
Need a motion please to approve the recommendation at 5K.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye. Moving to unfinished business. A new business by the board. Hearing none, moving to administrative reports and superintendent recommendations.
Item 8A, recommendation is made to approve the supplemental fixed cruise section reflecting the change.
Recommendation.
That was simply a shift in responsibilities of work district. When we put that together a few years ago, that was before Jordan Lard took over, and it was based on the expectation of what Jordan has taken over the church, and therefore the supplemental needs to reflect that additional fund. And it's not just because of Jordan's job and the competition that are around.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye.
And item 8B, recommendation is made to approve the following job descriptions.
Motion please to approve the recommendation.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye.
Holster. All right, so item 9A through C, and if we can take item 10A through B as a picture together.
So a motion please to approve the recommendations at 9A through C and 10A through V as in Victor.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye.
Dropping down in there for a second.
It's a paperless meetings.
Item 10W. Recommendations made to approve the attached list of annual salaries for classified personnel for the 2021.
Motion please to approve the recommendation at 10W.
So moved.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Abstain.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye.
Item 10X through AA. I don't know that we've ever had 27 items, but we do. And so 10X through AA.
Motion please to approve the recommendations at 10X through 10AA.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Burrell.
Aye. Shall we enter us into executive session?
Recommendation is made in an executive session for the specific purposes of appointment, employment, and compensation regulated.
Move to executive session.
So moved.
Ms. Dyer.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Ms. Quigley.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Duval.
Aye. After executive session, the board will exit and adjourn without further action. So that will end our meeting for this evening. Thank you to those participating via Zoom. And have a good evening and a good June. Thank you.